Okay, we are live. Good morning. Today we are going to be studying the laws of Shulchan Aruch chapter 29 in terms of the midot, the personality traits that are the right personality traits to have, and the correct path that a person should go on. Now, when it comes to personality traits, none of them are good or bad, just some of them are needed to be put into the right measure, to be put into its balance correctly. That's why a personality in Hebrew is called a midah, which means to measure. It needs to be measured out. Not that they're bad or good, but they need to be measured out in the right way. And we are now going to learn in this chapter all the laws that are necessary for the correct conduct and ethics of mankind. Most of this language is brought from Maimonides in Hilchot Deot, in the laws of Deot, which is what he calls a personality, a dea, the mindset. Because if you have the correct mindset, you can also change your personality to the correct path that it needs to be. And we're going to see that the main way that a person should be is in the middle path. That's the general rule, is to be in the middle path of personalities. Let's go to chapter 29, section 1 of Kitzur Sulchan Aruch. Anashim chalukim hem bedeotehem. People are very different in their personalities. No one's the same. Yesh adam shu bal chema koes tamid. There are people that are angry all the time. Yesh da'ato mishevet alav. There are some, they're calm. Benu koes klal, and they never get angry. Or shu koes pam achat b'harbe shanim. He gets angry once in many years. Yesh adam shu gva lev biyoter. There's those that are very proud. Yesh shu shval ruach biyoter. And there are those that are very low in spirit. Yesh shehu ba'al tava. There are those that have lots of desires. They want stuff all the time. Food, clothes, buying, and in all aspects. Desires means desiring in all five senses of our bodies. And he's never satiated with his desire. He has one, he wants two, he wants three. And there are those that are very pure-hearted. And they only desire small amounts that their body needs, necessary things, and anything which is a luxury they don't even feel the need for. Yesh ba'al nefesh rechava. There are those that are wide-souled, which means that not only are they desiring stuff, but he's just never satisfied with anything you give him in the world. No matter how much money you give them, they are not satiated. As it says, someone who loves money will never be satiated with money. There are those that are short in spirit, meaning they don't desire a lot. He really just can do with a little bit of money. He won't need and chase more than what he needs. There are those that even would be willing to put themselves in hunger. And hold their hands, their fists closed, meaning they're stingy. And even what he eats of his own money is painful. He's stingy, can't even afford, he's unhappy, even if he has the money, to spend it on his own food. There are those that spread out their money to everybody, giving it out to everyone. Similarly, with all the personalities and mindsets, it goes the same way. Kagon mahulal ve'onen, there are those that are too happy. Kilai ve'shua, rejoicing all the time. Achzar, cruel. Rachman is merciful. Rachlevav, soft-hearted. Va'mitzlevav, harsh-hearted. V'kayotze behen, and so on and so forth. Chapter 2. So we basically just pointed out how people are so different from each other. Chapter 2. So what's the right way of living? Haderech hatov v'yashar, the right way and the straight path is shiagil ha'adam et atzmo lalecha b'derech emtzai. A person should always accustom himself to going in the middle path. Lo yitavel ledvarim shehaguf tzarich lahem. Meaning, don't be stingy, we're going to see, and don't be too free with your money, but put it into the right balance. Always the middle path. Desire things that your body needs. Look after your body. Desire healthy foods. Desire the world to pay the money for good food, but nothing beyond that. So the things that your body needs, that's what you should desire for. These are things that you don't need, that you can't live without them. This is called necessities. There's necessities and there's luxuries. The middle path will be to live just for your necessity. Like it says, a righteous person eats to satiate his soul. Don't work too hard. Only to achieve what you need for now. As it says, a righteous person is happy with a little. He shouldn't hold his hand closed too much, nor should he give out his money too much. Give charity exactly according to what's necessary. And he should lend as necessary to whoever needs. Don't be a person that's always joking and making jokes of people all the time, of jokes of people for sure you shouldn't do, but jokes of all situations. Nor should you be sad and in a depressive state all the time. Happy all the time, but in a pleasure way. Yafot, with a pleasurable face, but not that you're laughing out but loud in public all the time, but just a pleasant, happy, internal happiness face. And similarly with all the other personalities. Somebody who goes in this middle path is called a wise person. Number 3, pride is very bad. There's some personalities we're going to see that even slightly to have them is something that should be avoided. For instance, pride. He's not saying that we should completely remove our pride, but we should have pride of, that we are the creators of Hashem and that we have a purpose. But in any way, a pride which is more than that, which means that I now think I'm better than others, should be removed from me. That's why he says pride should be within you, but only a tiny, tiny bit. A person should accustom himself to be lowly in spirit, not sad, but not proud at all. Low. Like our rabbis have commanded us, it should make extreme measures to be low in spirit. By the way, this means to be humble. That's what he says. It means to be humble. How should a person accustom himself to being humble? And to be low in spirit. In order, the way to do that is to make sure that all your language is pleasant. That's from Nachmanides, who wrote his letter to his son. He says these words. All the time, make sure you speak in a soft tone. Roshcha kafuf. Your head shouldn't be too up straight, but slightly over. Your eyes should look down, but your heart should be up to the skies, meaning I feel great, but my eyes shouldn't look great, meaning don't give off the impression that I'm above everybody else. Consider every person that you meet greater than you. If he's a scholar, think of himself as a scholar is better than you. And you're required to honor him. Similarly, if he's wealthier than you, you also have to honor him. Like we see with Rabbi, who would honor the wealthy people. Why? Because Hashem honors him. Hashem gave him wealth. If Hashem honors him, we need to honor him. And we should think that as much as Hashem gave him wealth, must be that he's fitting for that wealth. If he's less than you in wisdom or ba'osha in wealth, think to yourself, he must be more righteous than me. Because if he does a sin, it must be that he did it by mistake, or it wasn't completely in his mind. Why? Because that I should judge favorably. For sure he made a mistake if somebody does something wrong. But me, you did that on purpose. I do mistakes on purpose. Others, when I see them do mistakes, they must have done it by mistake. That's how I should look at things, because I don't know them. Me, myself, I know myself. And if I do things wrong, I do it on purpose. I know. Others, I don't know their hearts. That's how I should be thinking. If you think like this always, you will never be proud of others, and it would always be good for you. Number 4. Similarly with anger. It's very bad. A person should distance himself very far from it. So we said pride and now anger are 2 personality traits that you shouldn't be in the middle path with them. You should only have them slightly. A person should accustom himself to not be angry even on things that you should be angry for, which is normally the reason why we get angry. We say, well, he made me angry or she made me angry. I have a reason to it. Even if you have a reason, accustom yourself to not become angry. If a person needs to put some kind of fear on his children or his household for the sakes of peace in the home or for authority, so what he should do is show himself before them that he's angry, in order to challenge them, but not to be that way really deep within. He portrays that message to show that, look, you did something wrong to his children. But inside of him, he is calm between him and himself and loving. Eliyahu Navi said to Rav Yehuda, this is what the Talmud says, the brother of Rav Salah the Chassid, Lo tirtach velo techteh, meaning don't be angry and don't ever come to sin, meaning sin and anger goes hand in hand. Lo tirveh velo techteh, don't drink too much and don't sin. Sin goes towards drinking. Our rabbis also said, somebody who's angry is as if he served idols. Why? Because you removed everyone from yourself. Once you're angry, no one exists. You're outside of your zone of reality. Same as idol worship. God doesn't exist. You're in another reality. You're in denial. The person who's angry is not himself. He's lost himself completely. And all types of Gehenna, hell, control you when you get angry. As it says, remove heart from your, this is in Proverbs, remove heart from your heart. Remove anger from your heart. Meaning, from inside, remove it. And by doing that, you'll remove a lot of bad from your flesh. I believe this also means physically. When somebody gets angry, physically they're harming themselves. And our rabbis explain that the word ra'ah, bad, means hell. As it says, also the wicked has a bad day, meaning in the future, in the world to come. Angry people, they don't really live a life because they're constantly out of their own control. Our rabbis taught us to remove ourselves, to distance ourselves, not remove ourselves, distance ourselves from anger. Until a person accustoms himself that he wouldn't even feel at all touched by moments of anger, situations that would bring him to anger, I don't feel it at all. This is the way that's good. This is the way of the righteous. They are the ones that get offended, but they don't make others offended. They hear their rebuke, and they stay silent. Someone tells them off, they stay silent. They do everything from love. And they're happy even in their challenges. These are people like God. Them, the verse, Proverbs says, Ve'ohavav kitzet hashemesh bigvurato. Those that love Hashem are like those that Hashem loves are like the sun that goes out in its heated moment, which is midday. They are the most powerful beings on earth. They have the biggest influence. Someone who's able to be silent when someone screams at them. Someone who's able to be offended but not offend. Oh, they are like the sun in terms of their influence. They are the most powerful people. This is true gvura. This is true strength. Someone who overcomes himself to be like Hashem. To be like Hashem, because Hashem always gets offended by us. He gives us so much good and we do wrong sometimes, and still he keeps giving us. Hashem is erech apayim, slow to be angry. We also should be slow to have anger. This way, this personality trait, which is to stay silent in those moments, is a very, very powerful thing, the most influential thing, and the most strong. This is the true definition of strength, as the rabbis teach us. Ezu gibor hakovesh et yitzro. Who's a strong person? Someone who can overcome his evil inclination. Not someone with big muscles, but someone who can overcome that inclination. Section number 5, chapter 29. Le'olam yarbe adam b'shtika. A person should always be silent. We don't say silence is violence. Silence is a very good thing. It's actually a very powerful thing. A person should always increase his silence. Only speak in 2 conditions. Either for the sakes of Torah, or with matters that is needed for his survival. Whatever's necessary for you to live. And obviously you have to speak. Even what you need for your body, even that which you need, don't speak about them too much. You need it. You're building a house, you're buying clothes. Okay, speak about it, but not too much. Our rabbis already told us, somebody who speaks too much, causes himself to sin. And the rabbis said, Our rabbis say, I'm not found for the body good like silence. Silence is the best healing for our body. Now, there's sometimes where it says, if you have a worry, a pain in your heart, you should speak it out. But that's, again, going under the category that we said, that you can speak for the need of your body. You can speak for 2 conditions. Either it's for the sake of Torah, then you should speak as much as you can, or for the need of your body, meaning for anything you need in order to survive physically. Otherwise, it's so healthy to be silent. Rabba, a great Talmudical teacher, says, that which it says in Proverbs, life and death depend on your language, on your tongue. Speech is what kills or brings life to the world. If you want life, it's with your tongue. If you want death, it's also with your tongue. Meaning, silence can give you life or death. Lo yehe adam. Number 6. Lo yehe adam bal tzchok umehatalot. The person shouldn't be too happy, filled with laughter. Can you imagine walking into a home of mourning and laughing? There's a place for everything. So a person shouldn't be laughing all the time. A person shouldn't be sad or depressed. Ela sameach, a person should be happy. Happy means internally. Doesn't necessarily mean that you need to express it. This is how our rabbis understood. Tzchok v'kalut rosh, laughter, lightheadedness, meaning taking other people around you not seriously. Margilim et ha'adam le'erva. This is what will cause a person to promiscuity, to being immoral. V'chen lo yeh ba'al nefesh rechava. A person shouldn't be wide-hearted. Nivhal lahon, overly excited for money. Lo atzevu batel mimlacha, nor should he be sad. Or somebody who's not working, just lazy, sorry, not sad, lazy, and a person that doesn't want to work. Ela ba'al ayin tova, a person that has a good eye, meaning he works for what he needs. Mema'et be'esek, limits his work. V'osek b'Torah, and studies Torah. I will never forget in Israel, the middle of the day, I was shopping, and the owner of the store says, I'm sorry, I'm closing the store. I'm like, hey, it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. What do you mean you're closing the store? He says, yes, I have a shi'ur. There's a rabbi that's giving a class, and I need to go to it. So please. And he was in a rush, quickly closed the doors, closed the store midday. It doesn't bother him the fact that that's probably a busy time, and there were customers. Didn't wait. There's a Torah that I need to study. There's a teacher. I'm closing my business for a while. Mema'et be'esek, that's what it means. Limit your work. Osek b'Torah, and go and study Torah. V'oto ha'ma'at shu chelko yismach bo. And the small amount of study, a small amount of business that you are doing, be happy with. Don't say, I should be making more. That's the unhappy people that work way beyond their hours. And so our rabbis say, Hakin'a v'atavak v'kavod motzi'im et ha'adam min ha'olam. Rabbis say that jealousy, desire, and honor, ego, are the three things that takes a person out of this world, right? If you have so much desire for stuff, you're not in the world anymore. You're just running and chasing. It's like what they call the rat race. You know what brings the people into the rat race? These three things: kina'ah, jealousy; ta'ava, desires; and kavod, and honor. You have to have a bit of those. These are not evil. But if they are taken too out of control, out of context, you're not in this world anymore. You're in a different world. And a person must distance themselves from this. This is Maimonides in his second chapter of Hilchot Deot. Number 7. Maybe somebody would say, since we said that jealousy, desires, and honor are so bad, they are so evil, they take you out of this world. I'll distance myself completely from them. I'll go to the other complete direction. Until a point that he doesn't eat meat, doesn't drink wine, doesn't marry, doesn't live in a nice home, won't dress in nice clothes. He'll wear sackcloth, the worst clothing. I'll live the worst life, because it seems that anything which is physical is bad. That's what it seems. That's also a very evil and bad way of living. It's forbidden for a person to go in this way. And a person who goes in this path is considered a sinner. Shari Kativ ben Nazir, as it says, by the Nazarite, who has to, for whatever reason he does it, distance himself from wine and from his way of looking after himself. He grows his hair. He becomes a hippie for a while. No wine, and grows his hair, comes distanced from the physical benefits of the world. What does it say there? After he finishes being a Nazarite, he needs to bring a sin offering. He has to atone for the sin, ala nefesh, for sinning against himself. Why? Because he afflicted himself and avoided himself from having pleasure. Our rabbi said, "Umayim nazir shelo pirash et atzmo ela min yayin tzarich kapara." If already a Nazirite, a Nazir, who separates himself from wine, needs an atonement. If somebody holds himself back from anything, all the more so. Wine is one thing, but you distance yourself from a nice living home, all the more so you are sinning. You need to look after yourself, wear nice clothing, live in a nice home, be comfortable. But no one asked you to have a Ferrari. No one asked you to work day and night so you can achieve a Ferrari. Right? These are the boundaries. Middle path. Rabbis commanded us, a person shouldn't hold himself back. Only a person should forbid on himself that which the Torah forbids on yourself. Don't forbid on yourself, whether it's with oaths or all kind of promises, things that you're allowed to have. The Torah allows you to eat kosher. So eat kosher. Don't say, I'm going to forbid myself even certain kosher foods. It's an example. The Torah says in many things, certain areas that you're allowed to live by and certain areas you shouldn't live by. Don't come and say, I'm going to forbid myself completely in all areas. Speech, the Torah allows me to speak. No, I'm going to forbid myself all speech. That's called somebody who's mesagef et atzmo. He's inflicting himself, and that's forbidden. And that, just like the Nazarite needs to bring a korban, an offering, a atonement for some sin that he made by holding himself back from wine, we too must not hold ourselves back from things. This is what a rabbi says. Lo dayecha, it's not enough, masha asra Torah, that which the Torah forbids on you. And you come along and forbidden yourself more. Our rabbis forbade us to inflict yourself with fasts and with pain. I lost the place there. More than that which is necessary. And all these matters, and similar to those, Shlomo HaMelech says, may his memory be of peace. Don't be too righteous. Too righteous and more righteous than the Torah. Exactly what the Torah says is what we do, and not more. We don't come more religious than the Torah itself. Don't be too wise. Lama teshomem. Why should you hurt and go against that which is right and sin? Va'amar, and it says, Pales ma'agal raglecha. Weigh out your feet, meaning think out exactly which path you should be going on. V'chol derachecha yukonu. And in all your ways, all of them, be in a straight and measured path. So we are now going to finish and continue this tomorrow in section 29 on the laws of having a proper and healthy conduct. Thank you for listening.